MAGA supporters can't name one policy they like, can't do basic sheet math, and think America existed 500 years ago. You're about to watch reality hit them like a freight train. Welcome back to Mind Mirror. Let's get into it.
I am the smartest dude on every panel.
Hey, Rob.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you name one Trump policy in specific that you like?
The silence after that question was deafening. We're talking DA, Attorney General of California, U.S. Senator, Vice President, versus a reality TV host who bankrupted multiple casinos. The House literally always wins, and he still found a way to lose. But sure, she's the one without experience. This is what happens when your news diet is 3 podcasts and a Facebook meme. You start believing a guy who inherited everything somehow built himself up from nothing. The mental gymnastics deserve an Olympic medal, honestly.
Well, you want me to just name a policy? There's no such a thing as a policy.
I think it's too easy. It's just too easy to get an abortion.
You know how many people had an abortion, had a late-term abortion in Michigan last year?
No.
Take a guess.
Oh, I really don't even know.
Just take a guess.
Oh, thousands? Is it in the thousands?
It was 2 women.
Oh, 2.
Entire state.
Okay.
Under heartbreaking circumstances.
Right.
That they didn't want to have.
Right. And I understand that.
So I just saw this clip of a Trump supporter asking how come everybody who goes to college is a Biden supporter. Watch this.
I just wonder too, I mean, how come almost everybody I know of that went to college is a Biden supporter?
Yeah.
And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness.
I really like that other guy.
Michael, my brother in Christ, America did not exist 500 years ago. The country is literally younger than some churches in Europe. This is what happens when pride replaces a history book. Loving your country is beautiful. I'm all for it. But thinking we're the only opinion that matters on planet Earth, that ain't patriotism, that's a God complex wearing a flag.
Guys answer there because they teach inclusivity and how to respect and treat other people in college. That's very true. But also, the question kind of answers itself. When you go to college, you're taught to analyze evidence, question sources, and fact-check claims. And all of these things don't sit well in a party that's built on conspiracy theories and culture war nonsense. It's not that going to college makes you a liberal. It's the fact that being exposed to science, history, economics, and reality makes you a lot less likely to fall for populist propaganda. It's not surprising at all that the more educated you are, the more likely you are to vote blue. So instead of mocking education, I think the Republican Party...
The data speaks for itself. The more educated the voter, the less likely they fall for the con. And that's not an insult. That's just critical thinking doing its job. If a platform can't survive a college-level discussion, maybe the platform's the problem.
needs to ask themselves why they are so...
Do you care more about helping Americans or immigrants in this claim?
Immigrants are Americans. I'm an immigrant and an American.
Well, immigrants are not Americans. Americans are the people that were born here.
14th Amendment. Have you read it?
Okay, yes, I have.
Citizenship clause. It says any persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
I'm aware of that.
There's about 40 to 50 million naturalized Americans in this country.
Yes, but...
You didn't seem aware of it because you said Americans versus immigrants.
So, but are you understanding that the process of getting all these immigrants that come in here we've been also, the millions of immigrants, it's up to the millions, it's the last 20 years now, and it has dramatically affected Americans here in the country, which...
Positively, I would argue.
People like me and everyone around here, we cannot find homes or even get jobs within our own fields.
Are you looking for a job in construction or agriculture?
I am not, no. I went to college.
Okay. Unemployment is at a record low right now, even under Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but I would say unemployment under both Biden and Trump has been at record low levels.
Okay. Is this in regards for American citizens?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm unaware of that statistic, but from what I see, from what I can
I'm an immigrant and an American, and I employ many American citizens, both naturalized.
Bro said it perfectly. College doesn't brainwash you. It teaches you how to think. You learn to check sources, question claims, spot nonsense before you swallow it. If your whole worldview falls apart the moment somebody fact checks you, the problem ain't the professors, my guy.
I'm the ones born here. I employ Americans.
So I just saw this clip of a Trump supporter asking how come everybody who goes to college is a Biden supporter. Watch this.
I just wonder too, I mean, how come almost everybody I know of that went to college is a Biden supporter?
Yeah.
And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness.
I really like that other guy's answer there because they teach inclusivity and how to respect and treat other people in college. That's very true. But also, the question kind of answers itself. When you go to college, you're taught to analyze evidence, question sources, and fact-check claims. And all of these things don't sit well in a party that's built on conspiracy theories and culture war nonsense. It's not that going to college makes you a liberal. It's the fact that being exposed to science, history, economics, and reality makes you a lot less likely to fall for populist propaganda. It's not surprising at all that the more educated you are, the more likely you are to vote blue. So
is a Jewish person going to burn in hell? Yes or no? Yes or no? You just have to answer yes or no. DeVrom's Jewish. Is he going to burn in hell?
I'm right here. Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life.
So yes. So which one? You saying yes? You saying yes? Yes?
You're framing me.
You're saying it's a Christian nation. So everyone who is not Christian, they're basically being told they're going to burn in hell. That means that the nation that they live in believes that people that don't believe in their religion are burning in hell. That's a really big thing to say.
Would you vote for someone that's been held legally responsible for sexual abuse?
That wasn't a fair conviction at all.
What was unfair about it?
It was completely inaccurate. The area where they held it in Manhattan, there's very few Trump supporters there. He wasn't found liable by a jury of his peers.
It was a jury of his peers. There were 9 jurors, 7 men and 2 women. The lawyers actually select the jury.
Yeah, so
did Trump hire bad lawyers?
No, if there's not very many good ones to pick from, what are they going to do?
So you think all the jurors in selection are bad?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
No, but is that what you believe?
I didn't say that.
But is that what you believe?
I didn't say that. I'm done with you. I think that you're trying to push an agenda, which I don't agree with.
What agenda do you think that is?
The other side.
So something that you disagree with?
The other side.
So do you not want to interact with people you disagree with?
Because it's a losing game.
A losing game if you interact.
Watch what just happened here. She said immigrants aren't Americans, got hit with the 14th Amendment straight to the face, and her comeback was basically well, I feel like things are bad. That's the whole pattern right there. Vibes over data every single time. Unemployment's at record lows. Wages are climbing, but facts don't fit the storyline, so they get tossed. And look, I get it. Economic anxiety is real. Nobody's gaslighting you about rent being expensive or groceries being brutal. But blaming the neighbor who's also struggling instead of the billionaires hoarding everything, that's not analysis. That's a magic trick.
Interact with people who disagree with you?
Are you telling me the American education system is the best in the world?
Yes.
Let's test that out. A farmer has 17 sheep, all but 9 die. How many are left?
0.
And they literally let you graduate without basic math skills?
If it did, statistically, save children's lives, should we have more gun control?
No.
Feel free to keep calling me dumb in the comments. You know, I am just a girl. So I posted a video about tariffs and suddenly I'm the dumbest person on the internet, so that's cool. But let's actually talk about it though, because this topic is not as simple as buy American. Saying just buy American sounds patriotic, sure, but have you ever actually tried to do it? It's kind of like shopping organic on a ramen noodle budget. Our supply chains are global. Even made in USA stuff has parts from 5 other countries. And yeah, American made usually means higher prices because we actually pay our workers and have standards. I know that's kind of a wild concept. But I've seen the comments that say, just move all the factories back here. Right, because billion-dollar companies love doing things that cost them more money. Building factories takes time, labor is more expensive, and corporations, they care about one thing, profit. Not patriotism, not you, not me, profit. So, let's talk tariffs. A tariff is basically a tax on imported goods. In theory, it makes foreign products more expensive, so we buy American instead. Used the right way, they can give our industries time to grow and compete, but we're not exactly doing that. Trump's approach to tariffs, it's kind of like using a chainsaw for surgery, because tariffs previously were targeted and strategic. His are blanket tariffs, and you know, there's no coordination, there's no clear plan, it makes things unstable, and spoiler alert, companies don't like unstable. And other countries, yeah, they're upset. Imagine your biggest customer just slapped a tax on everything you sell them. You'd be mad too. That's how trade wars start, and no, that's not a buzzword, it's a real thing, okay? So who actually pays tariff?
The classic exit strategy. Get cornered, can't answer, declare you're done, then accuse the other person of pushing an agenda called the other side. Bro, that's just called having a different opinion. If interacting with people who disagree with you is a losing game, your ideas probably can't hold up in sunlight, and that's a you problem, not a them problem.
Spoiler alert, it's us. We pay the tariffs, not China, not Mexico, us. So when companies pay more to import stuff, they raise prices so we cover the difference. It's like going out to eat and getting stuck with the whole bill. Again. In theory, tariffs are temporary. They're supposed to give the US companies a boost, but in reality, corporations just raise prices, pocket profits, and keep making stuff overseas. They don't reinvest. They don't suddenly become American heroes. They're not playing the Star-Spangled Banner in the boardroom, okay? I get it. Buy American sounds strong, tariffs sound tough, and the economy doesn't run on vibes and slogans. If we actually want change, we need real policy, not just headlines that make politicians look like they're doing something while the rest of us just pay for it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Would you vote for someone that's been held legally responsible for sexual abuse?
That wasn't a fair conviction at all.
What was unfair about it?
It was completely inaccurate. The area where they held it in Manhattan, there's very few Trump supporters there. He wasn't found liable by a jury of his peers.
It was a jury of his peers. There were 9 jurors, 7 men and 2 women. The lawyers actually select the jury.
Yeah, so
did Trump hire bad lawyers?
No, if there's not very many good ones to pick from, what are they going to do?
So you think all the jurors in selection are bad?
I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
No, but is that what you believe?
I didn't say that.
But is that what you believe?
I didn't say that. I'm done with you. I think that you're trying to push an agenda, which I don't agree with.
What agenda do you think that is?
The other side.
So something that you disagree with?
The other side.
So do you not want to interact with people you disagree with?
Because it's a losing game.
A losing game if you interact with people who disagree with you?
People are crying at ICE for doing their jobs.
She is absolutely cooking right now. Tariffs don't get paid by China. They don't get paid by Mexico. They get paid by you at checkout. Companies don't eat that cost. They pass it straight down the line. Then they pocket the extra margin and keep manufacturing overseas anyway. So you get higher prices and no factories coming back. That's the worst of both worlds. Dressed up in a flag and a slogan, real economic policy isn't a bumper sticker. It's boring spreadsheet work. But boring doesn't get retweets. So here we are.
They're intervening with ICE doing their jobs. That's why they're getting shot and killed, rightfully so. Both of those deaths of whatever their names were could have been completely avoidable. Probably better off without them, regardless. And yeah.
Let's go ahead and focus in on one of the 3 citizens who has been murdered by ICE, and that will be Alex Preddy. So first, you made a very bold claim. A man lost his life, and I think the world lost a good man. And your takeaway is we're better off without them, and that the shooting's justified. So Emily, tell me, what is the legal standard that authorizes an LEO and engaging in the use of lethal force ending the life of an American?
I don't know. Go ahead and tell me.
If you don't know the legal standard that justifies a shooting, then why the hell are you sitting here saying the shooting was justified?
I think it was justified because of his actions.
Perfect. What actions?
He went with a gun, did he not? Did he not have a loaded gun?
Yes, he did have a gun on his holster, but you should know that in accordance with the 2nd, 4th, and 14th Amendment, merely being in possession of a firearm does not authorize an LEO to literally shoot and kill you.
You're going to go to a protest with a gun and a cop sees it as you're harassing these ICE officers that are getting threatened every day? Dude, it's not even a Republican thing, a Democrat thing. It is a common sense thing. It is a common sense thing. I would never, CCWs, I understand. I would never bring a gun to any Trump rally, anti-Trump. That is just not, it's just not a smart thing to do. That's why you end up dead.
Okay, condemn Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse? What?
He brought an AR-15 to a protest, remember?
I'm saying I don't know Kyle Rittenhouse situation. It was a big story. I don't care. I don't know what happened. Don't think he's a bad kid. I'm glad he's not dead.
Wait, Emily, this doesn't make any sense, because earlier you said the world is literally better without Alex Preddy because he brought a gun to a protest. Now you're saying that you don't think that Kyle Rittenhouse is a quote-unquote bad kid, regardless of the fact that he brought a gun to a protest. So what it seems like is that bringing a gun to a protest is not the relevant factor here that leads you to the conclusion that Alex Preddy was terrible and we're better off without him, and Kyle Rittenhouse is not a bad kid, but rather political affiliation.
I don't give a shit because he was a loser, and his life didn't really have much meaning, and it sure doesn't matter to me.
So just to clarify, you think that a nurse at a veterans hospital who helped save the lives of those that were willing to lose their lives for us in war, protecting our Constitution, our inalienable natural-born rights, is a loser doing nothing productive for society, right?
Yeah, just because you're a nurse does not mean you're a productive member of society.
She has no experience. If she did, the country wouldn't be like it is right now.
Do you feel that Kamala Harris doesn't have enough experience to be the president of the United States?
She doesn't know what's going on.
Can you list for me some of Donald Trump's experience before he became president?
These MAGA Whoa, hold the phone. We just went from tariffs straight into saying dead citizens are better off dead. That's a dark pivot, and she can't even name the legal standard for lethal force. but she's positive the shooting was justified. That right there is the whole playbook: zero knowledge, maximum confidence, and a total disconnect from human life. When your politics require you to celebrate a nurse getting killed, you gotta step back and ask what happened to your soul.
Reporters are so disassociated with reality that it's laughable. Can you imagine the mental gymnastics that these grannies have to do to justify what they just said? So let me get this straight. Going to law school and becoming a lawyer before becoming a district attorney, then going on to become the attorney general for the 5th highest economy on the planet, not 1 term, but 2, and becoming successful and knowledgeable enough to get voted in as a senator afterwards before ultimately becoming the vice president of the United States isn't qualified enough in comparison to Donald Trump prior to his time in office? I want whatever they're having. Think about it. They're talking about a guy that was a failed actor and failed businessman that's bankrupted 6 companies and inherited his wealth from daddy. A guy who experts have said that if he didn't do anything with the money he inherited besides just putting it into safe stocks, would actually have more wealth than what he has now after all of his failed business ventures. Imagine wanting somebody to run the country like a business, which it's not, when that person pretty much failed at every aspect of business in their entire adult life. And that's not even including his moral character, which is disgusting, by the way. What makes these delusional MAGA supporters and Trump supporters in general think that he's more capable of running our country than Kamala Harris? He added $8 trillion to the deficit and gave tax breaks to billionaires, which didn't trickle down to the consumers. And the inflation that you faced a couple years back was tough, but it was a result of COVID, not Biden policies. Not to mention, if you think your taxes are still high, newsflash, you're still under Donald Trump's tax plan.
Yeah. What the hell? Did you vote Trump?
Yes.
Why so?
To benefit America.
How so?
Because every other country will be worshiping us. America is the only country that matters. That means that our opinion is the only opinion that matters. That's what it means.
And why?
Why? Because we are the most richest country in the world.
Most richest?
We're the richest country. We're the richest and the most important. That's what it matters.
Okay, so then are you saying that like when we weren't the richest country, then we didn't matter?
We're saying we've always been the richest.
You have not always.
We've only been the most important, and we're the only
Michael, were we the
Our
richest?
opinion matters the most. That's what it means.
Were we the richest 500 years ago?
Yes.
Were we?
500 years ago, we were richest at the beginning. We're the only country that matters.
So 1,000 years ago, were we the only country that mattered?
Yes! Yes!
We didn't exist.
Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Michael, we didn't exist.
Yes! Yes, we did!
From sheet math to fake history, the pattern never changes. Big claims, zero receipts, and the second someone pushes back, it's, I'm done with you. What's the most unhinged take you've heard from someone who refused to back it up? Drop it in the comments, share, subscribe.